Hello everybody, Iain Robson here. Welcome to another tutorial. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to use the manure transporter mode. So in this case I'm transporting liquid slurry, which is a form of manure in this context. That's the mode we're going to use. So as you can see, I filled up my tanker just a little bit just to verify that things are going to be working properly. So what you need to do is you need to start recording your course in this area right here, or close to your slurry tanker, or close to your slurry provider, where you have all your slurry, whether it's here at the cows or whether it's at the EVGA. So again, in order to bring up this Courseplay menu, right click, and I'm going to left click on start recording course right here. So I'm going to record the course. I want to make sure I have two waypoints. There's the first one, there's the second one. Now I'm going to do a U-turn here because the field that I want to provide slurry to is right behind me. There we go. It's going to drive over the curb here. And then I'm going to line up with this field edge container right here. This is just basic mods that you get in the game. So there we go, I've lined up with it here. And I'm going to set a waypoint right there, or set a wait point right there. So that's where it's going to overload the slurry into, okay? So then once I'm done, I'm going to turn back onto the road here. And then I'm going to drive back to where I started my course, which is up over by the slurry tanker. Okay, so I'm going to make another turn here, just so I'm lined up correctly. I'm going to do it like this, around here. I want to make sure I line up my truck as closely, as straight as possible with that first waypoint. So there you go. I'm going to stop that point right there. So that is the starting right there, where the blue circle is, and the red stop sign, that is the end point. So I want to make sure I put it into manure transporter mode, like so, and then I'm going to set it so it starts at the first waypoint. Of course, again, you change this by left clicking on it, so you can set to nearest or first waypoint. And again, if you want to save it, you can left click on this and save it as manure. And then if you want to see what courses you have saved, it's under the globe right here. So this is the one right here. So if I want to load that course, all I would do is I would go into the globe and I would highlight this one that I wanted to load, and I would hit the folder button, and then it would automatically load that course. Alright, so let's set it up. So it's driving at the first waypoint. It's in manure transporter mode. Let's go ahead and set it to drive, like so. And now what's going to happen is if I check the information out here, you can see that the slurry level is slowly decreasing. And once this is full, we should be able to see the fill level from the back here. As you can see, that's slowly going up there. So as that fill level increases to the maximum capacity of the trailer, it will continue on its way. So a couple little points to remember is you can set up your refill until point. So you can set it to 70, 80, 90, 100, whatever you want. So in this case, I want to set it to 100, so this tanker is completely full before it continues. So you notice how it's refilling before my starting waiting point, or my start point. So keep that in mind, because it does, whichever point it can start refilling at, that's where it starts to refill at. So in this case, it was able to get close enough to get that refill point, so that's why it's going right there. So once that truck is completely full, it's going to continue on that little route that we just drove. Okay, so looks like it's almost full. There it is. It's going to drive up around the corner there. It's going to drive around and back down towards the field edge container. And again, these two items are just under slurry, so this is just the base in-game items. Okay, so there it is. It's driving around. So let's go over to the JCB here and just verify that this thing actually gets full. So we can actually come over here and we can take a look at it. We can actually hop on top of the JCB now that I think about it. And we should be able to see that slurry field edge container slowly increasing with slurry. So as you can see, now this is becoming full, and that is decreasing in the amount of slurry it has. As you can see at the top there, the capacity is slowly decreasing because it is filling the field edge container right here. So that's the manure transporter mode. And now that I have the slurry right here, I can come around and fill up my slurry tanker. So I could use any of these slurry tankers right here that they provide in game, and I can fill up from this field edge container and put slurry on my field. So that is how you set up a manure transporter mode to fill up your field edge container in this context. So it's almost empty. So once the truck is empty, it's going to return to that first waypoint. It's going to keep doing that course until that field edge container is completely full. So there it goes. So we're turning on that same course that I drove. It's going to make the turn. Keep in mind that when you drive this course, it's going to follow exactly the same thing you did every single time. So if you made a mistake, it's going to follow that same mistake. And if you drive close to a tree, the likelihood that it's going to hit the tree is higher because it doesn't drive exactly like you. Okay, so there it is. It's getting into that slurry pit again. So once it gets there, it's going to start filling up once again, just like that. And then once it's completely full, it's going to go back to the fuel edge container. So that is how you use the Manure transporter mode. I hope you found that tutorial helpful. My name's Iain Robson, and if you found this tutorial helpful, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for some more tutorial action. Catch you guys later.